I'm here to tell you that there is life after Building 26. Though when you're 22 years old, it can be hard to imagine. The 70s, when I was in school, were boom times for journalism at Cal Poly, and the music was really the soundtrack of our lives. These weren't just songs on the radio or from the record player. They were the background music to late nights, big moments, and many long-lasting friendships. I'm proud to be honored alongside fellow alumni like Claudia, Pete, and Tracy, who all helped shape that era. And I can't forget our other Hall of Famers from our generation, Susan Houghton, Mark Looker, Dave Curley, Kevin Riggs, and Weird Al Yankovic. He's keep coming up, right? So yes, Weird Al's My Bologna song was recorded right here at Cal Poly. Proof that humor, creativity, and a little weirdness are part of the magic too. In fact, The Long and Winding Road by the Beatles perfectly captures what it felt like to be a college student finding her way. I fell in love with journalism by accident, as you heard in the video. In high school, I was placed in newspaper class by mistake, and I agreed to stay there until the teachers could figure it out. I started writing articles. I didn't know what I was doing, but by the end of the week I was hooked, and I was named editor the next year. That was my stairway to heaven moment, as Led Zeppelin might say. I had found my passion. At Cal Poly, I lived in the journalism and graphics departments, writing for Mustang Daily and creating the Outpost magazine. I loved feature writing, and by my senior year, I became editor of Outpost. I want to share a couple favorite memories of the times there. One time I had a late night call from the department head. His name was John Healy at the time. Never a good sign. He asked me to come down to the printing press where the issue of Outpost was being printed. In fact, this is that issue. It featured a student who was relying on the oldest profession to cover tuition. He said, "We can't publish that." I said, "Yes, we can. I have her sign permission, her face is not showing, we've taken all the necessary precautions, and after some hand-wringing, the press is rolled. Lessons learned, always have your facts and your permissions straight." And the song that I heard that night in my head, and I still hear, "I Will Survive" by Gloria Gaynor. Another unforgettable experience, I was asked to write a feature story for a project on Hearst Castle becoming a National Historic Landmark. I spent the day with William Randolph Hearst's personal rose gardener, who shared beautiful stories about Mr. Hearst. To this day, every time I hear "I Never Promised You a Rose Garden" by Lynn Anderson, I think of that assignment. I wrote for local publications, and just before graduation landed a job at the Slow Chamber. I wrote newsletters, press releases, sold memberships, and helped promote the new wine country, think about that, and those now iconic Slow t-shirts. Eventually, I headed to the Bay Area, where I spent the next 35 years in PR and marketing. First in real estate companies, then in tech. I got married, had a daughter, and ran a tech marketing company all at once. I founded my agency, Bumblebee Marketing, and spent 25 years helping clients in the tech world create buzz through campaigns, videos, websites, and events. I didn't have a business plan. I always told my students and kids that I talked to that I had instincts, creativity, and a great network, but I wished I had taken some more business classes at Cal Poly, which I didn't. But yes, you can do it all, and I did. I wanted to be a strong role model for my daughter. My daughter is with me here tonight, as well as my husband, my sister, my sister, dear friends, and incredible women of the Journalism Ladies Caucus, as Tracy mentioned. Thank you for being here. As Stevie Wonder sang, "You are all the sunshine of my life." I never forgot what Cal Poly gave me, the freedom to learn by doing. What I didn't have was a mentor, especially a female mentor. And that's one of the reasons why when I joined the Journalism Advisory Board and later started the mentorship program, I'm very proud to say that it's still going strong after probably about 10 years. So I'm very proud of that. And as Carol King sang, "Where you lead, I will follow." It's an honor to be inducted into this Hall of Fame. I've loved giving back, whether it was planning the 100-year celebration, organizing KCPR events, or mentoring the students. So I want to leave you with 3 pieces of advice. for students, young journalists, PR professionals, or anyone writing their next chapter. Number one, be curious. Keep asking questions. Curiosity fuels great journalism and great lives. Number two, build your integrity before your brand. Let your work and your words speak louder than your resume or your follower count. And number three, say yes before you're ready. You don't need to have it all figured out. You need to take the leap, and you'll be surprised where it takes you. Tonight, as I stand here, I still hear the soundtrack of my life, of the memories, of the growth and gratitude. And for everyone writing their story right now, choose your soundtrack wisely, because one day, those songs won't just remind you of where you were, but they'll show you how far you've come. As Fleetwood Mac and this Hall of Famer would say, don't stop believing.